moving.
So they're alive.
Yes, they're moving, but that could be for many reasons.
What are they made of?
It's gonna take a long time. It took like 200 years to figure out how bacteria work, so.
Please do it faster.
As storytellers, we believe it is imperative for us to study the art of storytelling. And today we're going to be starting with something that Sigmund Freud said. All pleasure comes from tension reduction. Now, what does this have to do with storytelling? Well, tension reduction is a key to storytelling as well. The story as a whole, every act and every scene should have some tension and the release of that tension in one way or another.
Well, we don't want to take any more of your time, Mr. Endicott.
Why'd you two come here?
We agree with Freud in that this seems to be a universal truth. The pleasure from eating reduces the tension of hunger. A good night's sleep reduces the tension of fatigue. Stretching will reduce the tension in your muscles. More tension equals more tension reduction equals more pleasure. So we take that to storytelling with what Aristotle called dramatic tension.
I told you about them bad manners, boy. You better put that down.
Why don't you come and get it, baby?
The films that we watch, that we enjoy, even the bad ones, will have dramatic tension and the release of that tension. And we, as the audience, enjoy the release of that tension. The confession of love, the lead up to the final battle, the mean girls finally get what they deserve. These are all releases of tension. Stories need tension and release, otherwise we end up with a series of events.
We were just trying to clarify some of the evidence. Was Mr. Colbert ever in this greenhouse, say last night about midnight?
Knowing this about stories gives us the basic building blocks of this concept. But how do we get to the point where we can start to consciously use it in our writing? Well, here we have to go a little bit deeper into the ingredients of tension. Tension is made up of two things, and you will find these two things in every single scene, or at least you should find both. These are hope and fear. Ryland Grace hopes that he can learn what the astrophage is, and he fears that it could kill him.
How much astrophage you need, question?
2 million kilograms.
I can give.
In every film, we hope for one outcome and we fear another one. This is the formula for tension, the battle between what we hope for and what we fear. In the Heat of the Night, we hope that Mr. Tibbs will solve the murder case before the racist townfolk can stop him. This is the overlying tension throughout the film. But we can't forget that each sequence and each scene also needs to have tension. When he is talking to Mr. Endicott, there is tension between Mr. Tibbs and the plantation owner. We hope that he will find the murderer. We fear this man's power and the trouble that could cause Mr. Tibbs.
There was a time when I could have had you shot.
When we're talking about sequences in stories, these are mini stories in and of themselves. They have a beginning, middle, and end, and there needs to be tension that is built and resolved in each sequence. In Project Hail Mary, we have the sequence at the start of the film where Ryland has to find out who he is and why he is out here in space, which is resolved when he remembers the Petrova line, his experiments with the astrophage, and finds out that he's over in the Tau Ceti solar system. An entire sequence that starts with the fear that he doesn't have information and the hope that he can return home.
I can't do both. I can go home, or I can save Rocky.
In your storytelling adventures, remember that tension is the reason for every story, sequence, and scene being interesting. That tension allows you to continue moving forward in your story without having to resolve everything at once. If you give your audience smaller releases of tension through each scene and sequence, you keep your audience interested. And don't forget that in order to have tension, your characters should have a fear and a hope. Each of these are necessary for real tension in your writing. And as always, keep writing.